everybody, and welcome to Marquee Gaming tonight. As Mike's dying over there, so sad. But welcome everybody. Good to see you all. Welcome in to our 91st session of Mystical Mishaps tonight, and yeah, glad to have you all here. Glad to see you, and hope you all are doing well as well. And why don't we get into our player introductions so we can get into the stream tonight? And we're going to start with Rachel. Take it away.
Hi, I am Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find me over on Instagram at Pip400art if you want to see all my art stuff. I'm also here on Mondays at 3:30 CST working on commissions and different things like that. So check me out tomorrow. I should be live. I'll give a little updates too in the Discord if something comes up and I can't, make it or whatever. And then for today, I play Eleonora Edivane. She is a level 7 warlock. She's an ASMR. She is the official lore spokesperson, I guess. So I was trying to get my head straight on all the lore too today, since we have to kind of go through a series of events potentially. So I'm ready.
Definitely. We'll see how things go today. Interesting conversation. Our second player tonight is Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Winnie, the level 7 monk. So you're I guess if you're a historian, I don't know what I'd be. But we have jobs.
You're like the bean. Like the pure bean.
Is that a job? Is that a title?
Yeah, I think it is. I think every group needs one desperately.
Okay.
And I think it's
That's
you.
True. Okay, all right. Local bean. Locally sourced bean. Anyway, sorry, I'm done. Mark's like, we gotta lock in and play. I'm already like floating. My brain is already not really here, so I'll do my best.
I mostly was saying lock in for me because I was playing Pokemon all day. I have to switch gears now.
Okay.
So.
Pokemon.
Did
you win?
No, I did not win.
Oh.
So, our third player tonight is Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley. I also make art and I post it on Instagram. And tonight I play Euphemia. She's a human druid. She's the observer of the group. She's gonna have all of her radar up and watching this whole conversation unfold. There's a lot to see and I think discern from what we might uncover in the upcoming time. So that's her role, I think. She's happy about that.
Awesome.
Don't make her say anything, but she'll watch.
The watcher. Yeah. She also needs to get like a detective hat and have like her and Edison can like spy on people. Like to be like the thing they do together. Yeah.
There you go. It's that cute thing they do. They just spy on people.
There we go. Nice little hobby.
And our fourth and final player tonight is Mike.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael, also known as Bardic Dice here on all the socials. Just one part of the tavern, former kind of D&D player streamer, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, today I play Davril, level 7 artificer, 4 artificer, 3 blade singer wizard who is regressing to his cult pass, and I'm trying my best to maintain all the information I'm supposed to come up with tonight. So Dad's going to be freaking out and looking over at all the other players to talk for him. So Euphemia might have to talk. We'll see. Hey guys, I know it's my scene, but can you guys talk? It's fine. And I'm also still dying, so I apologize for any coughing fits that happen.
We'll see what happens. Sorry you don't feel good.
It's okay. We're getting there.
We do have a Discord we share with Bardic Dice. You can join that and be a part of the community there and find out when things are happening in the world of us. And also there is a channel called the Mystical Mishaps, which we post gifts in during the session, which is always fun to go look at afterwards. And we had some pre-game ones as well that bled off today. So feel free to post your own GIFs in that channel. And if you ever need them too, there are recaps under a thread there. And we have a list of NPCs and world information. So you can find a lot of that stuff in the Discord if you do not want to watch 93.5-hour-ish episodes to get caught up on where we're at in the world. We understand it's a big undertaking, which is an honor that some people even took the undertaking to watch all of our first campaign and catch up for the finale of that. So crazy. I'm Mark. I'm Mark. Hi. I feel like I didn't say it yet because I talked about the Discord.
Ooh, no.
My role here tonight is to be the DM and be evil and mean, or maybe I'll be merciful. Who knows? Just depends on my mood, which is so right now. As I said, I lost Pokemon today. So
You just lost Pokemon in general.
yes. Hello, the nameless nerd. I even said that if you're nameless.
Mark, what are you doing?
My mistake.
The whispered
That's it.
one into existence.
Right. Why don't we get started here in a second? But I just want to let you all know that upcoming on the 23rd, there'll be no session. So just be aware of that. No session on the 23rd. Otherwise, we'll be planning on playing every Sunday.
Oh.
And Rachel's mad, like, how dare you not play
What are you
D&D on the
talking about?
23rd?
I'm sitting
How
here going,
dare you?
like, what am I forgetting? I don't remember.
What's the
Okay,
23rd?
got
I
it.
forgot.
Gary
forgot.
Con.
Right. I figured. I remembered it was
Yeah.
in March. It seemed like I don't know.
Yes, Gary
That came up
Con
really
is
fast, anyway.
coming up
It did.
soon. But yeah, I think there is something fun to look forward to in April too, which I'm excited for. But I'm gonna keep it secret for now, just in case it doesn't work out for some reason. There's an April event that I'm very excited for.
Rachel.
Rachel is just blinking
Oh.
like, what?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
That's how Dad
Yeah,
feels
think about
tonight.
what I texted you recently.
Rachel's just 10 seconds behind me. Don't worry, she'll catch up.
I'm sorry.
Why don't we run our
It's been a weird
intro
day.
and Rachel can catch up during the intro. We'll be back real soon. Hi, everybody. We are back, and we're gonna get into tonight's session. I gotta pick a song. What song do I want? Let's try this one. I don't know.
Best song.
I don't know if this is the best one, but I'm gonna just play it. We are gonna begin with a recap of what's been happening. So our players are in the northern part of the continent, called Batron. They arrived there after jumping through a mishap crack and have been kind of in the general area of Dav's old group, the followers of Acheral, that was thought to be destroyed, but they have learned now that they are not, in fact. destroyed entirely. So they've been exploring that area and investigating the ruins of the old site. Found a metal man that was very curious to them, and found a map as well to a vault that one of the leaders wrote that they were staying at. So the last session, they took the opportunity of being so close to go out there to the vault. They had to be delayed a day because of a blizzard that happened, but then they went out and were able to actually do a very good job tracking it down. And it was hidden behind an illusion, which made it difficult for them to see. But for some reason, their traveling companion, Ira, didn't seem to have any difficulty spotting it. But they went to the door, knocked on it, and it was answered by Arizini, one of the leaders of Dav's group. Let's see, put the picture up. I get the right one. This is Arizini. And then they also found the other leader, Utrix, who's right there. And they were both in this vault, and it was filled with a bunch of different treasures and goodies and things like that. Along with a wall of these like mannequins, statues of men made of adamantine, which is the same thing that the strange one was at the ruins. And they caught a quick glance of a teleportation circle, and they started talking about what was going on. Lots of questions about where loyalties are and things of that nature. And yeah, they were about to, my goodness, I had to fix my camera. Okay. They're about to sit down and have a conversation. So as some chairs and benches are kind of being arranged, Utrix actually goes over and takes a sheet and drapes it over the teleportation circle as you guys are all getting situated.
Oh yeah, we did see him. It was.
Can I insight him as he's doing that? Like, what's
Yeah, I
his
was gonna
name
ask
as
it.
he's
Is it like
covering
a don't look at that, or is it like a
caution?
nervously like covering? Yeah.
Roll an insight check.
Ooh. I rolled a 19, so 24.
All right.
19.
Okay. You both pick up a bit of a sense of just like some edge in the air of what's going on, some tense behavior, especially from Utrix. And
He's so mad.
I mean,
He's never been madder in his life.
It's normal.
he just hasn't been super pleasant up to this point overall. Like,
Fair.
he's very professional, but he's not like a super kind individual like Arizini seems to be. And he also, it seems the more rigid one of the group. So.
He has resting professor face, is what I always,
I guess that could work.
No, okay.
Professor Goofy. So.
Phantom has given all of you your advantage die
Yay!
for tonight.
Wow.
All thank Phantom for that.
Thanks!
Thank you for your duty.
And we have, let's see, Trivia giving out a D4 to somebody. Let's find out who that's going to. That's going to Rachel.
Wow, thanks.
And a raise and a lower to start us off. So I'll just roll those simultaneously again and see if they're the same or what's going to happen with that. All right. The level goes from extreme to high.
Extreme. Oh,
Super extreme.
High.
super duper extreme.
Just getting super crazy extreme. Like it just keeps getting harder and harder. Oh my god, we're never gonna get out of
Ah!
I mean,
Oh my
eventually you have to kind of step it up a notch, right? So
Mm-hmm.
ultra extreme crazy.
yeah, they have these benches to kind of set out and chairs that everyone can sit in, and they got one for Ira, but Ira does not sit. Ira kind of stands in the back and just like he's observing what's going on. do all of you take a seat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your hospitality. Giving us a chance to catch up on this.
And Arizini, oh, of course, yes. Would you like any water, or you have a berry you can give you from our plant? You're hungry?
I'll take water, if you please.
Have some
course.
water, please.
They'll take a pitcher and then start pouring some water into that. Give it to
It's
each
just
of you.
frozen. It's just a chunk of ice. They give us.
It's actually pleasantly warm inside of this vault.
Okay, that's
Not
nice.
cold.
Ooh.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
That's good to know.
Is it cozy or is it like kind of cold and like not
It's
cold in the way
definitely-
of like temperature, but
It's definitely a nice, warm, cozy feeling in
Okay.
here. There's no draft or chill of anything.
Hmm.
It's very nice.
Okay.
Interesting.
By the way, do you watch if people come up on you, or like if you could scry, like people at the front door or anything?
Talking about.
I just wasn't sure if you saw us coming or if you saw us find this place. It was,
You knocked on the door. That's how we were
yeah,
to the door.
that's okay. Good. All right, just making sure.
Making sure we didn't see you. They didn't see us wandering around.
Like, oh yeah, I was just kind of curious
Idiots.
if they had like natural light or if there's security or anything. I just really, the place fascinates me. I'm sorry, I got just distracted. I'm a little nervous. You can tell. Good to see you guys again.
Arizini will come sit next to you, Dav, and Utrix will sit across the circle from you.
I mean, I looked up to both of you a lot, and to find out you guys, I thought had passed away like everyone else, and then heard rumors that you were back. I'm just glad you survived.
Yes, I'm quite happy you are alive as well. It's wonderful to see you. And she kind of leans in and whispers, "Are you feeling all right? Your voice seems a little hoarse. You have a cough or something?"
Well, I mean, yeah, the cold is definitely fluctuating with that, but I was injured in the attack, actually. This is
Oh.
a bit of a scar from it.
Very sorry for that.
It's okay. Kind of defines me now. That doesn't really bother me.
She'll lean back.
Doesn't scare people like I thought it would. I thought I was trying to go for like a real edgy kind of person for when you sit back in a tavern, just kind of like give people the eye. And eventually I just got kicked out and didn't really intimidate anybody. I think it's just me. Some people can pull it off. I just can't. Like Utrix, you just have like natural intimidation, like in a good way. But he just looks down.
I just like pat
Looks
his
over at
shoulder, like,
Eleanor.
Utrix is just like staring at you as you're saying that.
Like in a way of like you command respect in a room of like everyone just looks your way and just looking at
Oh,
Eleanor like,
exactly.
please stop me.
Stop.
Like just the eyes are just like, stop
I
me.
can't stop. Well, I am curious actually before we get to it. How did you two survive, if you don't mind me asking? It sounds like it was a brutal attack. If he thought everybody was dead.
Yeah, I mean, we saw many people be struck down around us, and we tried to see if we could find anybody in the chaos of it, but no one we could get to. We ended up teleporting out.
Oh, I see. So once it looked to be lost, escape with your lives, essentially.
There's nothing we could do in that moment. It was completely overwhelming.
Sounds like it.
They had set a nice wall that I hadn't seen you in some years, but then just recently, you both came back looking for supplies. And what brought you back?
Was curiosity. Wanted to see what remained. There was some way to pick up the pieces.
What were you doing before that? I'm sure, like, as you seem aware, the reputation of someone with an eye is not all that, with the stone eye, is not all that good. Were you able to, did you need to hide, or were you able to make a living?
As you said, reputation part, like not being good, Utrix kind of scoffs a little bit.
I don't say that in a judgmental way either, by the way. I can understand slander and gossip traveling.
People are afraid of what they don't understand. It's the way of the world, unfortunately.
Yes.
We continued our studies the best we could.
Where? I mean, I never came across you all. I'd been in the region for a bit.
We ended up being fairly remote, out of necessity. As you've said, people do not look kindly upon outsiders often.
Yeah, I can tell you this thing will get you a closed door at every wizard school between here and Heaven's Reach. Guaranteed. So, just it.
I'm sure.
So, how did you find this place? And get in? I mean, I would assume that something from one of the creators of this plane is not easy to come by nor to get into.
Well, before we get into that, what again are you four doing out here? What are your intentions? That is important for us to establish before we go too far.
Of course.
She kind of pats Dav on the leg a little bit. You saying this?
She's so nice. Well, we have found ourselves in a rather bizarre situation. One that seems to have to do with ancient magic. And when we learned that you may be alive here, and Davril remembered your people's dealings with ancient magic, we hoped perhaps you could offer some insight. And we think that the information we have will be beneficial to you as well. Actually. So that is the hope. Being able to share knowledge and help each other out, I think that it would benefit both of us.
What do you think we have to offer you?
Well, if you have studied ancient magic, you may have knowledge about what is going on with us, or a direction to go in, or perhaps even more. I'm not sure what you have, but perhaps the things that Akerol has shown you may put some of the pieces together for us.
And we would love to kind of go through the grander scale of what's happening to us. It's not the easiest to understand or for us to explain to other people, but I do believe the two of you want, and I've always wanted, the understanding of greater magics. And if these tap into veins of ancient magic and things that go back leagues of time and centuries and deal with other things in this world, the information that you can provide and help bring to, I mean, if we can prove our value of Acheron to this realm, the reputation could sway. Like you said, it's misunderstood. And if there are people out there to help and save just by our own perspectives, I think it could be a good allyship by putting our brains together. Do you have remember like those old like whiteboards that you like write on?
Chalkboard?
Chalkboard, that's the thing. Yeah. Sorry.
Would you like an expo marker? Like, okay.
I'd prefer a
got a
projector
pillow.
with a laptop, but I mean,
Yeah.
if it's just ancient things, that's fine.
Well, we do not have them here, as would have been left at our encampment, but
Would have been a lot easier to write this all down on a chalkboard. He'll take out a paper and I'll like put it in porch, like like long ways, and put a line down the middle. Eleanor, you actually have a lot easier ways of. I think you're more elegant in explaining this, honestly.
Sure, I can. Add in what you will, either of you, if I'm forgetting something. Well, probably I would say it started about 6 months ago now, 5 months ago. Is it 5, or was it less than that, Mark? What campaign start, essentially?
that was the 8th month. You are
So, 8.
like
3?
3 months in. So
3, okay, my bad. Oh yeah, the tower blowing up was 5 months
Yes.
ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
It started about 3 months ago when all of us gathered in Heaven's Reach to take tests to all become monster hunters. There's a ritual that they ask each of the applicants to take. I think it's supposed to tell sort of what potential your blood has, your genetics. And so we each put in a drop of blood. I think Omni Shard is what it's called, was used in the ritual. And as it was being performed, during the casting, a mishap occurred. During this mishap, the 4 of us were sort of enveloped in this light mist. It was blinding. I think a couple of you actually saw a bit more than I did. Like lights entering our bodies or something. And we thought, nothing to be thought of. It was just a mishap. We move on. Except that was when everything changed. We started realizing that the potential for us to have mishaps occur was far more than it has ever been. When we are in battle, sometimes it's as much as 5, 8, 10 times in a minute. Constant. Not only that, but we can feel it, the chance of a mishap rise and fall. Almost sort of it's in the back of our neck. So that in itself was abnormal, and we were seeking to try and form our group of monster hunters, but also what is this affliction? Because it was starting to get in the way. You can't really do much when you're constantly being interrupted by mishaps. That all culminates to there was a point about a month later or so, a month and a half later, when there is a tower in Yellowfield that houses a man named Hunrick Stevens. Have you heard of him?
if I've heard of him, yes.
He studies ancient magic as well. And this is where it's going to get a little weird, so please bear with us. But from what we have always known, Hunrick Stevens is dead and had been dead since the 6th month.
And Dav just goes T1, T2, and goes
writing it,
Huneric
yeah.
Tower X, and then Huneric Tower circle. He's like literally like duplicating the timeline thing that
That's really going down.
Mhm.
When did you say this happened?
The day it seems the gods were cut off here, actually.
It was 6:15, I believe.
Yes, correct.
Arizane and Utrix exchanged a look.
We had a feeling that might have corresponded with you as well.
Was that the day Aperol left?
Yes.
Hence why I really do believe we can be of help to each other.
So, to continue, when we went, well, actually, before that, we had noticed, as we were sort of adventuring about, there were cracks forming in the ground, especially it seemed where a lot of magic had been cast or mishaps had occurred. We're not really sure why they were forming, but they were forming in the ground. Some were large, some were smaller. Pure, like this, the color of mishaps, it's like that pink color. Those cracks on the ground where the pure mishap energy was coming out of it.
The
If
weird part
one-
is, sorry, quick
No, go ahead.
interjection. Anytime
Yes.
you try and identify it or detect it, it doesn't land on any of the schools. It's like it's all of them and none of them and twisted and all combined at once. There's no way for us to identify it or react to a spell that cuts just one element from the other. It's something new.
And when one touches it, they are incinerated.
Very bad idea to
in-
touch it. I don't think anyone would
consumed.
think to do that, on purpose.
So that was already sort of starting to pop up. And when we had gone to Yellowfield, that was sort of apparently the first time that a crack like that had formed was at Hunric Stevens' tower. Because what reality we know is that Hunric Stevens died in an explosion of the tower on the 6 months on the 15th day. And there was a massive, 50-foot crack spanning the entirety of the tower. And ever since then, more and more cracks began popping up all over the place. So there was one day, there was it seemed almost like the weather itself had worked itself around the crack. We're not really sure why that was, but it was reacting intensely. So we went to go see what was going on and if maybe there was anybody in trouble or something. And when we drew near to the crack, the energy itself arced out, hitting all of us. We felt like we were being consumed. And then we woke up in the middle of a field near Lakeside. You would imagine our surprise when we appeared at Lakeside, where everyone told us that Hunric Stevens, not only was he alive and well, but that we were dead and we had died a month or so earlier. We saw some of their bodies. There's an article about me. And we realized we are not in the same place.
So my body here in this reality is buried. And we saw it. There was a group of adventurers when we were traveling through a forest that helped us defeat a monster above us that would have killed us. But they were guarding Hunric Stevens' tower. So when it didn't blow up, they weren't there to help us. And apparently we died as a cascade of events, it seems. So in this reality, we shouldn't exist. But we've been gone through the crack and arrived here.
So we started to fret that perhaps something had shifted and we didn't know what it was. a few days later, after a few different events occurred, we woke up in the middle of a sleep with a burning pain on our backs. And we were again just shunted to somewhere random. I think near Heaven's Reach. I need to remember. It doesn't matter. Either way, we woke up with a marking on our back.
Mid-rock.
And it's...
Yeah,
oh,
that
thank
was
you.
the
Near
mark.
Midrock. Yes.
You'll show him the marking on the back.
And we have been going back and forth near timelines ever since, and each time, the only way we can get back thus far is because this marking keeps progressing, and the magic itself seems to pull us back to the original. We call it a timeline. I don't know what it is.
Wow, it's like you have been through quite a lot.
Does it look like they
What?
believe us?
Yeah, so just seem like they believe in this thing or no?
Roll a vibe
Right.
check.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Vibe check.
15.
15.
Hey!
Oh, Mark, don't I have a bless? That's not on my sheet.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think I have to roll another bless too. Roll that now. Here. Blesses. It's me! Ha 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 ha. I get a bless.
You get a bless.
Okay, so 15, 15.
10.
They seem at least interested in hearing out this. Like, it's plausible.
I think, and we can fill you in a lot more of this timeline, but where I think it really becomes relevant to you all, that's when I began obviously still trying to understand the stone or tapping into it as much as I could, because I've never been able to understand how to use it.
She, like, pats your leg. Oh, Deborah, please do not do that unsupervised. Quite dangerous.
Learned my lesson. Definitely learned my lesson a few times. But I did connect once, trying to identify it, and I heard Akral's presence, voice, I don't know, mentioning power.
It was while we were here. It was a few weeks ago.
Well, that was, well, first time was in the other timeline.
But the second
Yes.
was here.
Yeah, second
The
time
second
was
time
here.
was here. That one seemed a bit more notable, but go ahead.
What did you hear in the first time?
Power. I think, right? Was that the burgers?
Yeah.
What I think would also be something that would be interesting to you is that after visiting here, when we arrived back at our first reality, the one that is opposite you, when I woke up, they recognized a blue orb. A speck of energy left my eye and got sent off. And shortly after, when I prayed for guidance, I heard from you. Look over to Arizini.
She
You
smiles
say there is
and looks kind of Utrix. When was this date?
on the 24th last month.
They look at each other again.
What happened?
Nothing. Interesting information.
Nothing indicated your interest. We're trying to see if everyone is connected or not.
Happened for us that day. Interesting information you're telling.
They're lying.
Are they lying? Yeah.
Yes,
Roll
they're
an
obviously
insight check.
lying. I think
Please.
18.
I rolled 1, so.
Okay.
24.
Nice.
I was just doing the Rachel face before. Blink, 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 blink.
Blink, 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 blink.
Euphemia, you feel like they're playing their cards close to their chest. Not necessarily they're lying, but like
Okay.
they're definitely not revealing everything.
They're being careful about how they say it. That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, okay. We've been wondering how much each person is connected. There's been a couple of other instances that it seems that it is in some way. We're not sure how it's worked when it comes to... I mean, there's 2 versions of each person, potentially, that we're dealing with and interacting with.
Seems that way, yes.
Dreams seem to be a recurring theme in the connecting points to a degree.
Interesting.
On top of that, we think that there is some sort of natural affinity we have now to the mishap cracks, as in the other place, when one of us dies, the world is sort of torn apart with a mishap crack, and the person that died is resurrected, and we all fall to this place again. That is twice how we've arrived here.
You died and you are alive still?
I have died 3 times
Oh my.
so far. The first 2 have been on the other place, in which a mishap crack formed larger than normal, killing many. And then I would be resurrected here. All of us would travel together. The 3rd time was here, in this portion, when I died. And a crack did not occur. However, I was aware of the afterlife, and it is very much not the same as before.
Seems like no cracks occur here, actually.
Interesting.
Death punch card. Upon my death in the 3rd time, I awoke as a spirit, being tethered to a massive flow of mishap energy and being pulled to it. I saw multiple souls being pulled to it. It seems to be something, that energy is something that consumes or envelopes the spirit. I was able to resist, but I am afraid that the people here that die, it's not good. As of now, I don't think it was like this until the 6th month.
So somehow a duplicate was created 5 months ago, potentially relating to what happened with Rick Stevens. Now, there's no God connection here, and souls are not able to escape, or they're destroyed, or doomed, or
They're taken into that flow of mishap energy. I do not know what happens. I was able to escape, and Davril here and the others were able to resurrect me.
interesting. Well, this is all quite interesting information, Stuart.
Since being a follower of Akrol is all I grew up knowing, and your knowledge is something extensive, I would like to continue learning. And if you all could help us maybe even figure out more about how the ancient magic has affected us, or how maybe we can unlock how to travel back between this, because we can't just jump into a crack here. Then
That is our. Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
Well, I was just that is our biggest goal, and our hope in talking to you is figuring out how we can control going back without necessarily having to advance this mysterious marking. This machine with us, we need to figure out how to take it back with us. Because we have a whole mission we have to sort of finish with him to prove that there is a duplicate world. The people in the other place do not believe us. All they see is that the four of us are going about ripping apart the world. So we are in great danger and on a last leg to be able to prove that we are innocent and trying to help the plane as opposed to tearing it apart.
And if I'm able to get contact with you both or Akrol in the first reality, and it's easier to connect to, maybe that information could help here, or vice versa. Maybe there could be a relationship established, and the efforts that you aid in us can help restore reputation in our following. There's endless opportunities.
Yes, there is certainly.
That's a nice cat you have in here.
There's a cat. Oh my.
It's like drinking Winnie's water. She's like, oh, okay.
We all realize
I
this
was
is
trying to
Euphemia.
take notes, and she kept eating my pen, and I was like, oh my god. It's like,
Girl.
Euphemia got bored with the talk and just quit into Catfemia.
So, Davril, you are wanting to recommit yourself to Akrol?
I've been trying to process a lot of that over the years, and just seeing you all, I felt like it was right back through all the different memories I've been through. And it's been tough having doors shut, having ultimatums given, having so many people, like you said, misunderstood. But I do care about making sure that pain like this doesn't occur to another group, that monsters don't come about destroying towns like they did, that cracks that are killing other people can be stopped. If there's information that Akrol can give, it's worth willing to look into. And honestly, as much as my identity has been all over the place, it's everything I know from my childhood and my family. So I understand I am what I am. And I would like to understand the stone and Akrol better. in the ways, and if that means committing myself, then sure. But the only reason I said it before, and I'll say it again, there still are unknowns. And I believe these things can all be good and be used for good, but I would hope that we'd keep an open mind that if there are signs that Acheral could be evil, or that there are evil agents at play that are trying to manipulate us, would we be open to that? I don't believe it, so I mean, you all are good people, and I want to do good, and I don't want to blindly commit to something that is still an unknown when we can help so many people, if that makes sense.
But what bad have we ever done?
That's exactly what I'm saying. None. And I have no reason to think you all are evil. I'm just saying we don't know 100% what Acheral is, or what bound him, or what was involved with all this, or if another entity is borrowing its name. There are many possibilities. But I am open to walk and learn and to be convinced, to be open-minded. There are greater things at stake in this world, and I think Acheral, and I believe you two, can aid in that.
When we returned, ruins, we found Acheral there, waiting. We were able to spend years conversing with, learning from him. His great potential for knowledge that can be taught to us. I fully believe he is good intent.
Who's saying that right now? Is that
Arizona.
Arizini?
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of look over. Does it seem like Utrix has the same, like, almost belief and plea to his face?
So he is a little more, I mean,
Yeah.
straight face, but he gives like a nod as she says that.
Well, I'm here. I do want to walk the path of knowledge and learn and get to meet Acheral like you have. And maybe you all can help us as well.
So you do want to follow Acheral still?
I'll just look at the others, and I do want to understand.
Utrix will say it. Follow, not understand, is what we're asking. You are going to be a follower of Acheral, correct?
Sure. Yes.
You genuine in your statement there.
I don't think anything's changed. It's exactly what he says. He's always been willing to be a follower of something until he learns it's evil or wrong. So I mean, I think he still has, and it has so this whole campaign, a naive belief and hope that this is all good and that it just needs understanding and unlocking, but I think the genuineness would be it would be more than willing to commit himself to this unless it harmed his friends here or harmed the world. And that'd be the only, I think, thing that's holding back his genuineness in that, if that makes sense.
So
Pick the
Erzini
neutral.
will like kind of put her arm around you and say, "Oh, that's just wonderful." Utrix leans in a little more. Do you
Take
know
your hands
about
off of this, right in the say.
what do you know about what happened to our star, Azure Stone?
I did see that day that Kendra took it. Do you know what the source of that stone is?
Do you know?
I do have a hunch.
Do you think it is?
I believe it could be a scale from an elder dragon.
Why do you think this?
Because I'm not alone in my research anymore.
A colleague of mine was able to identify it as such.
Identify it. You've seen it.
No, the eye.
Of mine.
Because it is taken from it, is it not?
We've been in contact with Kendra.
Not in this timeline.
The other?
I did come across her. I don't know where she's at anymore, and she's not any much more of a supporter of seeking of knowledge that I want.
It did not end well.
Do you know what happened to the stone?
I don't know where it would be now. But I do.
Where?
Now I cannot tell that. And I'd be more than willing to discuss that later. We kind of points over to Ira.
He leans back.
I apologize. There are certain people we are protecting that knowledge would harm them potentially. And it has nothing to do with the stone, it has to do with matters around it.
You watch as he leans back. He kind of points a finger in your direction. And you hear a whisper in your ear. Tell me where it is. Like a message cantrip.
But he gave a look like, oh man, if you're trying to do something more than that. It is safe. If it's still where it is. I am not ready to divulge that without talking to my friends. I'm not the only one in my group. could be both a follower and a horde hunter at the same time.
Are your priorities, and he's saying this out loud now to everyone. Everyone can hear this. Are your priorities to your group or to Acarol?
The greater good. I don't think either one is one over the other. If they were to decide to slaughter a town, I would be against them. If Acarol wanted the same, I'd be against him. There's no one over the other.
We'll have a moment you will likely have to choose. Is it them or Acarol?
There's no choice to be made. If you are followers of knowledge and intellect that you wish to be, what I know the followers of Acarol to be, then we would be foolish to turn them away that have helped us in all of this, that have gotten me to this point. And I am owed to help them. I desire to help them in their issues.
And I will step in and say, the four of us all have some very unique problems and situations. At this point, I think we are all rather indebted to each other for the acts that each of us have done to help the other. So if Davril asks of us to help, we will.
It is fine to have friends and alliances, but is your priority Acarol or to them? If a decision has to be made that would put them in a worse spot to help Acarol, who would you choose?
That's so nuanced and what if. I think you know better than to ask that.
Right now, you have a moment that we're asking you a question, and you are not answering it. Are
I
you
can't.
protecting them, or are you loyal to Acarol?
I'm telling you the truth. Both.
Points again. Tell me where the stone is. It whispered in your ear. Airzine's just watching kind of back and forth between the two of you.
Does Arizini seem concerned at like what Utrix is kind of pushing at? Or is
No.
she like fine with it? Okay.
Watching.
There hasn't been much, give or take. You haven't helped us with any of our issues yet.
Ashley, you get a blessing.
Cool.
There hasn't been any knowledge exchange. There hasn't been any aid or a claimant to help us in this route as well. We have both benefit to gain. Why potentially ruin that by giving an ultimatum? And with all due respect, I am just not one for ultimatums. I've been given one by Kindra, and that did not go well. Like I said, it's more nuanced than that. But I want to learn. I want to seek the truth. I want to follow the best I can.
You want everything you desire, but will not be willing to give up things you don't. It's about your best interests, Avril. That is what's in your head right now. And that is unacceptable. You are not a follower of Acarol if you do not put him first.
Is it still out loud or still in the head?
This is out loud. He's just saying this in front of everybody.
Yeah. I haven't had the years that you had to discuss with him. You are asking a student to commit to the level of a master that hasn't had the chance to walk the path you have.
Devotion is not for a master.
I just put my hand on like Dav's shoulder a little bit, and I just kind of give him a look like, you know, it's like a look that's like, I trust you in it, you know, just kind of like.
He wants to know where the stone is.
Do you still have need of it?
Yes.
What about this artifact from the giants? What was that all about?
That is for the intention of helping Acheral.
How so?
We need to figure out first where Davril's devotions lie. He just turns and looks back at you, Dav.
Just look at the others. I don't feel like it's his decision to betray someone.
Well, it's hard too, because like technically, we're not even in his
You're-
group in this timeline. So
Well, and yeah, here things are so different, so I don't know that I would necessarily give you a strong indicator of no. We don't even technically know.
You guys are okay if I divulge what we know? I still kind of like my eye flicks to Ira and then back to you guys.
I have a question, I guess. I'm sorry, and this is out like I can't remember. This is like a Kelly question. Because Igan has it, right? Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was he
maybe.
using it for? Okay, maybe. Was he
He was
using it
hiding
for
it.
anything, or was it kind of just like he was just hiding it? Okay.
It's just in his
From what we
Um,
know, he was just hiding it, yeah.
Because I was gonna be like, I don't know if it would be. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's what I thought.
I mean, yeah, it is timeline too, so. Yeah.
Can I don't know, this is weird. Can I like run over to Dab and like whisper in his ear just because I don't know, it's a little stupid, or if that's not, they're gonna like freak out if I do that. But basically I could be like, we could always offer to get it for them. If like, and basically that way we'd be stealing from Megan, that would be good. But we also would not be betraying like his whole thing, I guess. I don't know if that's bad or not, but we could always do that if you wanted to.
It's definitely one possibility to take.
Just run back to her seat and sit down.
Does Dab seem like he wants to do something? Like, does it seem like he's leaning towards something?
I mean, you can tell enough by him now that everything is in him to want to divulge this for the sake of pursuing this knowledge. And 6 months ago, this answer would have already been given.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also like this weird calmness about him because of the relationship he has with you guys now that just says, you guys say no, we walk, and he'll be okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eleanor will just say, we make sure no one is harmed.
There is a contact.
Oh,
Go ahead. It's not going to say any names.
maybe.
You
I
just
like
do it in
looked
the
to.
message.
Yeah, I just looked to Utrix like, please do the message again.
He'll point
Like,
to you again.
just, yeah.
Where is the stone?
Gotcha. I totally forgot we had that.
Yeah.
Thank you. The contact that sent Kendra had it in a vault of his in Yellowfields. That's how I contacted Akerol the first time.
Who and where?
If I'm going to be a follower, I want to help. You're not going to hurt him, are you?
Will that be necessary?
Are the followers of Akerol's murderers? Or do they find a way to find knowledge for good?
We are not murderers. We were murdered.
So if you had to kill him to get to this stone, to do what you needed to do, what would you do? How far does your devotion go then?
Our goal, get the stone. If he gives his life up, prevent us, that is his choice. We are not murderers.
Then if you wish to go after the stone, then you send us. And we'll retrieve it.
Oh no, I'm not.
Several.
listening. Never mind.
Okay.
Who and where? Pick your answer very carefully. And this is whispered through the message. You hear it.
His name is Igden. However, I don't know if the stone is still there. Kendra is believed to be dead in this timeline, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And whatever operations he did, he doesn't do anymore. He's not really a threat. He's a broken man. So your
Where-
threat is not as active as they are.
Where is individual?
In Yellowfields at the tavern that I don't remember the name of at the moment. Is it not the bearded dragon, is it?
Untamed drinker.
Untamed drinker. I don't know why I was. Yeah. That wasn't in my notes when I came through.
You say the untamed drinker?
I hate this.
This was me. This was me on the trial. I literally was like,
It's
So
horrible.
I hate it.
awful.
It has been our curse of like
I know.
just
Will
oh
we,
my
won't
gosh.
we? Yeah.
So you do say the untamed drinker?
Yeah.
He'll nod to you.
I hope I'm proving my devotion. But I please hope you prove to me the intention of this group.
He whispers another time what you know of him. Will he put up a fight?
He doesn't understand what Akrol is. He deems it a threat to be summoned blindly.
Capable.
He's not Zed.
And this whole time, Utrix looks like he's just been studying you, Dav. He'll look over
Gross. I
to
don't know why.
Arizini and give a nod. Arizini will pat you on the leg and it's good, Davril. It's a good choice. So like reach back and start rubbing your back a little bit.
He's
Sorry,
doing
I'm
his
doing this.
best not to tense up right now.
I say not to keep doing this. What's the? Do they seem? What's the vibe now that they've like gotten the information that they want? Like, is it?
You can
What's the
roll
mood
another
in the
insight
room?
check.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 1.
Probably
Okay.
some excitement, I
20.
would assume.
I got a nat 20. 20.
There you
Nice.
go.
Arizini looks very happy and smiling at you, Dav. She looks very happy. Utrix seems satisfied right now.
Hey, real quick, out of character as well, can you guys remind me the second time Dav Connect you said it was in this timeline? It's not in my notes.
Cunard's
It was.
tower,
Yeah.
and it was your eye.
You're trying to like connect with the ley line or whatever.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have that. Okay, I don't know why I'm not connecting that as the second time. Okay,
You tried
yeah.
to like utilize the stone to connect to
Mhm.
whatever was
Gotcha.
happening.
Mhm.
I didn't think of it as like connecting. I thought it was just as like experimenting with them for some reason, like as two separate things. I was thinking like, did I do this after Eleonora came back in like the town after Audra Forest or something? I was trying to remember when that happened. I got you now. Okay. So it was like right after each other, and they haven't done anything since the 17th and the 24th. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure you got everything there.
Well, Davril, you do know that our knowledge is exclusive for followers.
It seems. I mean, do they have a chance to try and join if they wish?
That's something you or through desire.
Unfortunately, I have other allegiances. I would say though, I mean, Davril's loyalty, I would hope would be enough, as the four of us are joined together by this mishap affliction. Whatever happens to one of us happens to him, and vice versa. We are bound together, so any information he learns would, when we know, will also benefit him. If he keeps things from us, it'll go nowhere.
We are not saying that Davril cannot be of aid to you. There is exclusive knowledge that we keep to ourselves. Is that going to be an issue?
Are you talking about in relation to information about it and also the eye?
Knowledge when it comes to the arcane.
Ah.
Those sorts of things. Ancient magic, as you have heard.
Yes. Well, all I think is our goal here is we just need to know what's going on with us. And we need to find a way to be able to control going back and we need to know what this marking is and what it means. So it sort of depends. I mean, if Davril unmasks all this hidden knowledge about those things, yet we cannot know them ourselves, it will not help the situation at hand. But if it is exclusive knowledge about your people or
Inner workings.
inner workings, I mean, I don't mind that. But if it pertains to what is directly happening to us, I mean, I would request that we know it as well, because we are victims of this. We have no control.
There is definitely a potential that we can be of aid to you in your understanding what is happening. We can certainly do our best to be of help. That and the knowledge that we possess. When it comes to certain magic, it would be exclusive to Davril. Learn it.
Of course.
Not be for three to practice.
That's acceptable.
Does it work for everyone? And she looks to Winnie and Amy as well.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you would like to follow Akarol.
I'm not allowed that. I have other allegiances as well.
The Euphemia.
I'll just look at Dav and say I trust Davril. If he needs to learn something that's gonna further his craft, that's fine with me. I don't need to know it.
That being said, one of the things is that the things we were tied up to has some urgency.
Yes.
I know we rightfully covered it, but I believe I recognized a potential teleportation circle. Would you be able to aid us in a quick transport to where we're going?
Oh,
Northport.
Finished too.
Well, yes, once we're finished. We're not trying to rush out, but the travel through the cold and up the coast would delay a lot of what we're doing and my use to you as well.
That could be arranged.
Thank you.
We also, we don't know what the trigger is for the switch of the timelines. So we may just disappear.
Yeah, do you, either one of you, make any sense of heads or tails on this? It's almost like runes that are being written on our backs.
We do not want, yes, we don't want to switch. We want to stay.
Utrix says, well, from what I saw of it, it definitely is not complete. It does not have much of the defining symbols in finding the true intention behind it. It does seem like there are 4 focal points, which perhaps are U4. Perhaps it is something else, though. Not defined at this point. Of arcane nature.
Any way to stop it?
Source of magic needs to be stopped. So that may be.
Is it? Would you suspect who or what would even be controlling this or doing this?
I'm not certain at this point. Can do some investigating.
Would mean a lot. We did have one contact recognize a similar symbol on a back that was of from a coven of hags. We weren't sure if that could be related potentially.
I doubt it. something
Oh,
Did he scoff? Is
refined
that what that
looking.
was?
Yeah, he scoffed, and something that refined done by hags.
oh.
Oh,
You're certain?
Not completely, but almost certain.
Interesting. We have been afflicted by hags, but
Well, I'm not certain what that is, but I do not think the source is a hag. You
Well.
said that where you are from normally, there is still a connection to the gods.
yes.
And this world is a duplicate from 5 months ago, more or
That
less.
is a
The running
theory, at
theory.
least.
Events that happened are the same in this world compared to that world for the most part,
For
besides
the most part.
your deaths.
The dominoes. Yeah.
And the ripple effects that came from it. Also, Northport is different. Northport is not being overrun by demons.
Still wonder if that's a ripple effect, but yeah.
It may have been. I'm not sure. We were running about Northport for a bit, but
So
Funny story. We ran into some amateur. I'll be for a story for another time.
you said that version of Arizini contacted you.
In a dream, unless it was you. Told me to come back home. That there is an avatar or an aspect of Akerol with them.
Arizini says, that was not me. And Beatrix leans in a little bit in his chair, and that is what I am hopeful for, is that Akerol is still with those versions of us. He can provide far greater knowledge than what we can provide you.
And that's why we're here.
Should be there.
That's why we're here to get there.
Yes, and I want to get you there as well. Going to
Good.
write down some notes for you to give to that version of myself. Going to encode them so that only I can read them, as I would not want these to fall into the wrong hands.
That's so smart.
But they will be sure able to assist you in what you are doing. Would make it a high priority to get this to them as soon as you can.
This is probably the only vibe check I think Dav would have. Is he feeling this is at all duplicitous? Like the encoded code, like they'd be like playing them.
You can roll an insight check.
It's a good insight check to roll.
Wow, he's so cool. Natural one.
Okay, you're probably just in too much shock to even like pick up what he's saying.
Yeah, okay,
I
the
mean-
principal's giving me encoded. This is awesome. Scroll's being done. This is the best life ever. Yeah, he's regressing that hard right now.
This is scary as well.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
intense.
It's scary for sure. I'm scared just listening to the conversation. I don't envy you, Mike.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, it from session 0 is like clear to day the relationship differences, and it's still paying off.
You can
And there's
also
mustaches now. That's all I look at
got
is a
the-
mustache.
got the mustache now for Matrix. We can assist you in getting you to Northport. Send this note with you. I can do some studies here. If you'd like, I can inspect your eye to see if it it looks like it is functioning properly, or if it has been damaged in any way or affected by whatever is happening to you. Would these be things you desire?
Yes, of course.
Especially.
I will put in my instructions to the other version of me to help connect you to the stone, as there is a connection to Acheral that is a necessity to gain access to it, as a piece of Acheral lies within it.
Interesting. Do you have any theory on what the blue orb was then?
It is likely Acheral seeking to help you. I believe that when you returned, it left your eye that Erazini could know to contact you.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
With that in your eye, you do carry a dormant portion of Acheral with you at all times.
So if you summon him, I mean, would he need stones back? All the aspects that's within him? Okay.
That is a portion
How-
of his whole. Whole is what we need to and rescue.
How is it that he is within the scale of an elder dragon?
Put a portion of himself in there. Provide power. Followers. To
Interesting.
instruct, teach, and guide.
So when they found it originally, it had a bit of Acheral in it then.
Yes,
How did he manage to do that?
I'm not sure how he did it exactly. The god.
And
So-
you said he is imprisoned now?
Yes.
How do you use that term? Are you talking about an actual spell, or are you talking about just a general imprisonment?
Is magical in nature. The exact
Yes.
magic I'm not certain of. Perhaps the modern imprisonment spell is stemmed from there. Similar.
Oh, you're right. It would be an ancient magic version of the
Yes.
imprisonment spell, if that's what it is. I see.
Yes.
So is it more complicated to unravel that then?
Perhaps we are seeking to get to him. Why we needed the item from Frost Giants.
You want to go to
How-
him?
We need to get to him, yes.
You want to do the spell? I assume.
How would that item help?
Will be able to get us there. Where we need to go.
Interesting.
That might not work here, right? If planar travel isn't available?
I would assume it does not work here. This is why I'm sending you to the other versions of us, as that is where this mission lies for you. We can do a small portion of aid here, but the true potential lies there.
Do you believe that you are speaking to the same Akrol that they are? Or that this could be because he's away from this realm that he has influence on both duplicates?
I do not speak to Akerel here anymore.
Hmm.
Neither of us do.
I see.
When you heard him calling to you, though, when you touched the host, did you think it was him?
A portion of him, not him. There is the core. We are no longer connected to the core. There are portions we can connect to in our eye that can.
He can split himself like that.
Yes.
Is all the portions conscious? Aware? Or was it like an echo or something?
It's not truly him.
It's almost like messages or something.
Somewhat like an echo. It is incomplete. Not truly him. An imprint.
Mm. The reason why I'm so interested is we have been trying to figure out how this entire portion of things is even possible. Because as far as we know, a soul cannot be split in half and maintain both sides.
Well,
We did our soul to be duplicated.
duplicated is not necessarily the correct word, but like a lake with rivers that run feed other places. The source remains, but it can be felt throughout various places.
So, are you suggesting that the original timeline where you can feel the gods is the source? Each person's soul is the source. And then everything can be maintained here?
I am speaking of Akerol. I'm not certain about what
Sure,
you were talking.
I was trying to see if there was similarities with how Akerol is functioning versus how things can operate here, even.
Akrol is outside of this realm, right?
Akerol is
Just a
outside of
prison,
this realm, yes.
So he wouldn't have been affected by any mishap.
Seemingly,
I
yes.
guess it depends.
It's just their contact to us.
Mm.
My hope is that mannequin, he points to the empty spot, is duplicated, though. And remains active there.
So they'd have a way to speak with him.
Yes.
Seems like they do.
A way forward for you, Davril. For you to express your devotion to him. For him to empower you. You can unlock potential. That's why we gave you that eye in the first place. We put confidence in you. And Azarini will again kind of like rub your back. I believe in you.
Thank you. Yes.
You are absolutely somebody who we want to see grow and are so grateful you're still with.
Thinking about what my dad and Michael went through as well. Sorry. Do you believe? Did you have any contact with any of the 4 wizards that created this realm? And you are in one of the vaults of one. How did you know about this place?
This is where Akaral awoke. He knew of this place.
Right.
And no, we do not speak with them. We're all gone. Besides Ashram.
And Akrol hasn't mentioned any interaction with any of the wizards.
No, he is only able to help with the aid of the stone. Communicate.
So is there anything specific about this adamantine statue that was, I guess, was it just because it's nearby? Is there anything special about it that was, gave Akrol the ability to use it?
Not aware of anything. Again, we think that perhaps the shutter was a cause for the magic to become unstable enough for him to connect as he's been reaching out, reconnect with us.
So he can still do magic even while imprisoned?
Somewhat, yes. Certainly instruct ways of magic too.
I see.
So, shall we look at your eye, Davril? We can get you where you need to be?
Cool.
Or is there other things you need for that?
Or a cough drop or something?
Do you have any suspicion as to that mishap flow or the energy in general? What that is?
There's any not certain that would be in Matrix. Not at this point, but I will be looking into that.
Alright.
But again, I believe your true aid in this be with the other versions of Akaral likely have more answers than we could ever imagine to provide for you.
Random question as well. During your little travels before returning, did you have any rumors or word or interactions with Shadow Rock being up in this region?
No,
All right.
we're pretty remote up here.
Oh, do you know where an Alpha Yeti would be?
It's just about to, yeah.
Kind of going through the list of
Have you
things.
seen any around here?
Like I said, we have a lot of weird stuff to do.
Well, generally, we would try to keep away from things like that. It is occasionally you are out traveling, you may encounter one, at least a smaller Yeti. If you can find a Yeti and follow it back to its cave or wherever it resides, a good chance that there will be an Alpha Yeti nearby. they oftentimes have their own kind of grouping that is led by one.
Do they happen to come through here at all, or anywhere in particular you might see them?
Well, I believe they would be most likely found in the mountains to the south of here. Probably the most common place to find them. There may be some roaming, but again, if you're looking for alpha yetis, may not be the ones you roam. Alpha would probably be within the
That's when you
mountains.
would need to follow it. Oh, I see. And how far is that? Do you know?
Oh, that would be days south of here.
All right.
Always come back. Just looks around the room, see if anyone has any burning questions.
Well, I'll think about it. Why don't you get settled?
If you have any books on hags or anything or ancient curses, we'd love to research them as well. I know you were able to recover seemingly some of the books there.
Do you intend to stay with us, or do you intend to be on your way to Northport?
Look at you guys.
I guess we need to think about it. Maybe we'll discuss it if you don't mind.
All right. And he will say, we'll let you talk. I'll prepare the paper that I was going to pass on to you, and I can look at the stone after you read that, and then we can decide what here. So he'll step back with Arizini, and she'll again kind of rub your back a little bit, Dav, and smile up at you and walk off with Utrix, leaving the four of you with Ira to have a little conversation. And we'll take a break there. So everyone can stick around. We'll be back real soon after our break, and we will continue our session and see where things go from here. So see you all real soon. Hi friends, we're back. And we're ready to begin our second half of the session. As Utrix and Erzini have left the four alone, so I'll remove their images from the screen for now. And you all are left together to talk. You do have Ira looming over your shoulder, of course, because Ira's always there, always watching. And you can discuss as you see Utrix is writing some stuff down on a piece of paper, and Erzini and him look like they're kind of talking about some things.
All right.
Does that go well or is that bad?
I think
So you
it's
talk to
good. Yes, I mean, and we can break everything down later. I think right now what we need to think about is what do we want to do next? Do we want to try for an Alpha Yeti and make the journey? Do we want to go to Northport? Do we want to go to Lakeside and meet up with Vari first?
If we need to get in contact with the other versions of these two, we could get an Alpha Yeti on the other side. We would have to pass the mountains anyway, most likely, to travel to them.
Unless we teleported straight here, but yeah.
How? Yeah, I mean, what's
don't-
the
yeah.
likelihood of that?
Especially on the other
working
side.
on it, right?
Right.
Huh?
Eleanor's working on it, right?
I think it will be quite some time to Avril, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Cool. Never mind. It's a bad joke. I appreciate all the time you've given me already. I would assume going straight to Northport or straight to Vari. I know the longer we stay on this mission, the more we leave Euphemia's mom on defense. And I know I've been asking Artie a lot from Euphemia to come this way. So I completely understand not going for the Yetis now. I mean, I know that's more of a group thing, but that could wait till later, I think. Though to be fair, the teleportation circle did save us weeks of travel. So it's not like we're gaining time, but we are gambling time.
I mean, if that's days out and then days back here, that's already almost a week for something we may have to pass by on the other timeline to go find your people anyway.
The only thing I guess first of all, I'm not pushing for anything. I don't really know. The only thing I would have to say though is if we had, Hunrik is here. So, he's the one that can do something. Potentially even now, if we get something to him.
You might be able to teach us how to get to the other timeline.
Or some sort of brokenness being fixed. I mean, so it's worth, I think, considering at least in that aspect. But, like I said, I mean, the other option, we could go straight to Northport. Although I do wonder if we're a bit unprepared. And then the other idea would be we could go to Lakeside. We could try and get any evidence from Vari that we could, just in case something happens. I mean, our biggest thing right now is we need to gather evidence.
Yeah.
So if we can pick up evidence along the way, it might bode a little better.
It's what?
Of this timeline to the court.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. Yeah.
In case we get kicked back.
Yes. So if we go to Lakeside and Vari, we could gather a fair amount of evidence. If we go to Hunrick, we could gather even more evidence on our way to Northport.
So you're saying possibly hit up the Alpha Yeti thing now, then go to Hunrick, then go to Northport?
Or we could just go to Lakeside and
So at play,
journey.
Alpha Yeti, Vari, Uneric, Northport. So these are the 4 things we have to figure out.
Yes, and we could just not do the Yeti now, and then just do Vari, Hunrick, Northport, if we want.
It's not even point going to Uneric without the Yeti, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Would we want to see him without having any update for him?
I mean, I'm sure he would want to hear a few things, but I don't think it would be very much fruit unless we had a component for him.
If we were to go to Lakeside, are we thinking we would try to get someone from there to teleport us somewhere, or do you think Hunrick would take us? Or are we
I would
traveling
think we'd
on
just
foot
go
the
on
whole
foot.
way?
I would think.
How long do we think that would take based on what we've done before, Mark?
It's like 10 days, I think.
Like Lakeside to Northport?
Isn't it 5 to Yellowfields?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was 5 and 5.
Yeah. So Lakeside to Yellowfield is 5, and then 5 to Northport. Yep, so 10 days.
The other reason why I thought perhaps is I don't know how closely associated Vari is with the Watchlight, but maybe she could help us get into the city of Northport a bit better. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't work with them as closely because the mishap cracks don't exist here.
Part of me feels like, I know we'll have to go back anyway, but part of me feels like we should just try and do everything we can while we're here. But also, if it's too far out, I guess it's a few days out of the way for the Yeti component. I just think it'd be nice to be able to swing by and see Hunrick and have at least something to give him, but I don't know.
What about you two?
That looks like he's waiting for you, man.
If we go get a Yeti a few days out, that's assuming we find one, and travel a few days back to here to get a teleport, that's almost a week. And then another week to get to Northport, assuming nothing goes wrong.
We could be teleported to Yellowfield and cut off 5 days. We just wouldn't be able to meet up with Vari.
Isn't meeting up with Vari the whole point?
Potentially, yeah. I don't know if they would want to teleport to Yellowfield.
Remember, teleportation circles work. Another teleportation circle also.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
smaller towns wouldn't have it. Well, and we'd need to figure out where in Northport this teleportation circle goes. Because if it's in the middle of the city, I don't think that's a good idea. We might need to teleport outside of it anyway. So we might need to do something like Lakeside if we want to
Which
be
still
able to
puts us
control
at-
where we go.
Yeah, that still puts us at 10 days. I mean, that's a long time. I don't really feel... I don't want to do the Yeti if that's the way we need to go and add a week on.
That's fine.
What happens if something happens hunting that and we get kicked back too and we didn't even get a chance to get to Northport?
Yeah.
Do you
Makes
have a
sense.
thought,
Yeah.
Deborah?
Eleanor, you can pick up enough that Dav's kind of given like just a little nods. He seems very loyal to Euphemia at the moment, just like regardless of what he thinks, he's kind of just agreeing with Euphemia. He feels pretty indebted to her at the moment.
I wouldn't say we don't do the Yeti, but I do see where we would need to go find your people, so it's not like we wouldn't be back in the area.
I
That's
have
true.
a feeling they'd be back at our home.
So likely we'd have to travel past that region anyway.
Yeah.
That makes sense then. Yeah. Let's do it then.
I mean, if any of you really strongly feel otherwise, we'll do it. I just, you know where I'm at. With taking
No, I don't feel-
longer than we need to.
I was more just suggesting if we were already there, but I do think it could be risky with having Ira around. So
Yes, unfortunately, everything is risky with this. I mean, we could be in the middle of Northport and something happens. So, I really don't mind the order of the events. The only downside is if we wait in the other timeline to get the Yeti heart. That means we have to come back to this timeline again. But I guess we will anyway, no matter what. If
We can
the hags
choose
are hiding
that one.
here, but
Yeah. I mean, we can choose how to get back over there, so.
yes, I know. I always just get a little cautious about advancing the mark, and we've already
Well, we don't know how we're advancing the mark, though. That's the thing.
Yes, I know.
I 100% agree with the urgency, and that delays us a lot with all this travel with Euphemia. The only counterpart I would make is just we've always tended to benefit from taking advantage of where we're at in the moment and always seem to regret or having it something roll down the hill that could have benefited us because we chose not to take advantage of it enough. With all the teleporting around and everything, we don't get to it till later. So if we also can get some sort of buff from Unrik with these mishaps, that could help us in a fight against the hags. That could help us in Northport. I mean, it's my only counterpoint. I would just be the benefits that could come from it could be worth the time given. However, I am also on the side of urgency. So, like I said, I already feel grateful you guys came this far. But look at the advantages we've gotten. We have a chance to shave down half of our travel time.
And get Ira out of the way.
Mm-hmm. If we didn't take advantage of, the region we were in, we could have been walking this whole time.
what are your thoughts on
Mine.
what would you want? Yeah, what do you want to do? I know you've mentioned like what you could do, but what do you want to do?
I'm having a bit of trouble knowing, to be honest. We've had to make a lot of difficult choices lately.
Yeah.
Feeling a bit exhausted by it.
Yeah, same.
I agree with Davril in that every time we have passed up on an opportunity to do something, we end up regretting it. So that's what's making me hesitate so much here. However, the closer we get to the mountains, the closer we get to frost giants in general, and we know we cannot face them. So it is a risk right now for that as well. I think no matter what we do, it will be a risk. No matter what we do, we could get horribly delayed. No matter what we do, we could get very much thrown off course. I am almost given up in trying to plan this in an ideal way because I just don't know if it's possible. I think we can only do what we can
One thing at a time.
With
Plus, the
more
only
rats.
benefit too would potentially be if an Alpha Yeti brings him into the fight and show motion to Ira, then he might actually do something for him. Fight with us.
Well, I don't know how much I want to risk him either. I'm not
That's true. That's true.
Problem.
not sure. Yes, but I will say this: it may be beneficial to try and take advantage of the area for the long run in general. However, I don't think it's a bad idea to just go to Lakeside right now, because if we want to gather evidence even tonight, and if something happens, then at least we have something to take back with us to prove, even if we don't have Ira with us. The other thought is, we could stay for a day or two and see if there is something to be learned here. That might help us, but if Utrix is on it, maybe we don't need to do that. I'm not trying to make the longest possible route, Euphemia, by the way. I'm just exploring options.
I think that we are. I just wonder. I mean, Vari's going to watch this later too, and she's our advocate. If we're not getting this done, and we're taking another detour and risking him, I don't know what that would look like to her as well. I mean, it's not just my mom.
I get a feeling Vari cares more about results than the road it takes.
She doesn't seem to care all that much about Hunrick.
As long as she gets her evidence.
Potentially, if we had a quote to give Huneric and we're able to have information to give to her about stuff, or whatever, that would help.
But it's a good point.
So I think no matter what, it seems that Lakeside is probably the option we want. I don't know if anyone is feeling like they want to teleport in the middle of demon-infested Northport. I'm guessing. Does anyone feeling like they would like to do that?
I think we need a better
plan our entrance there a little more.
I mean, we wouldn't need to sneak into the middle of the city, but honestly, we don't even know if that teleportation circle works anymore. It may have been destroyed. Or didn't the Watchlight say they cut off access to it or something? We could ask.
Unark has one, doesn't he? Isn't that what blew up, potentially?
Maybe.
Not the symbols we saw on the ground?
Yeah, we thought it looked like a teleportation circle. I thought.
I think they need to know it, though. They need to know how to get there.
Well, we'll find out what's in their library of destinations.
Can I ask Edison really fast if I'll just shoot a quick question to him.
You pull your book out. Okay.
Yeah. Can I just write, is the teleportation circle at Northport operational or is it done?
Be written back. There are multiple. I think it just depends on which one you're talking about.
Is there one that's outside of the city?
Not that I'm aware of outside the city, no.
So they're all inside?
Yes. Typically temples will have them. Some other places will as well, depending on who puts them into place.
All right. That makes sense. Thank you very much. So I just relay the information. So I mean, it might be good to know which one they know, but I would assume Northport is no, unless we're feeling otherwise.
Yeah, I think Lakeside makes more sense. I guess for you
I
guys.
think Lakeside to get in contact with Vari prior. She might even be able to help us, like you said, get into Northport somehow. Or have an idea if she knows we're trying to help her.
Yes. So that seems to be settled. Now we just need to figure out if we're going to go on a detour or not.
And we've yet to find anything here yet. Because there's always been something else, and we've always
Yes.
vamped around. This is the closest we have to getting one.
Yes. And especially, it seems that our options of going back into the forest are cut off. Getting the sap.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. We just have a big fight on our hands.
In this.
Impossible to win fight.
Sure.
How,
trying to fight.
how, sorry, good. How dead set does Euphemia seem on this? Does she seem like she's like very much against it, or is it like if I get the vibe, like does she seem like more just like I don't want to, or like no, I do not want to kind of?
Well, she said if you feel otherwise, she'll go with it, but she doesn't seem pleased about the Yeti at all. If we're gonna take that much longer, you can see her doing travel math in her head.
Euphemia, I'm 100% gonna vote the way you do. Just putting that out there as I am so grateful. So whatever your decision is, your vote counts too. I have been thinking about trying to figure out how to say this better. For the sake of just what we're doing, though, we also don't know how she seems fine for now, if is what I'm trying to say. I want to get back to stop all of this as quick as I can to save your mom, but if she's being watched over, wouldn't getting everything else that we're trying to get done at the same time when we have the chance be also beneficial to her? If it's going to free us up to be more powerful to fight the hags, is just something I just wanted to put out there. I don't think that's fair to say, and a little brash, and I apologize.
She doesn't seem that upset by you saying that. Everything we do is a risk. Sometimes I wonder if we try to do all of it, we're not going to get any of it done.
I just have a feeling we should. I don't know why. I have a gut feeling we should try, but I also am not. I have a gut feeling it's not the best thing we can rely on. So.
Well, your gut feeling's also not on an hourglass, so maybe it is more accurate.
It's not what?
It's not on an hourglass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know, Mark. It's decision paralysis. We had so much. I feel like we already decided so much with like the time, like the section before this too. So it's like, oh my gosh, I can't.
As the DM, Mercy Mark comes here for a moment and says, "Guys, it's okay. Just pick whatever you want to pick. You have not broken the game. Your decision matters. Like it will have certainly effects on the game
for sure
and the future of things, but." It's okay. Just pick something, and we'll be okay.
Mark has to hold
Brought
our
to you by
hands.
Marcy Mark.
Oh my god.
Wow, Mercy
Thank you,
Mark,
Arizini,
we're bound to
appreciate it.
ourselves.
Utrix is a paralysis demon that we're fighting, and Arizini is Mercy Mark. Like, it's
It's
okay,
true.
you can choose.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just have to say I don't know. I think I vote Yeti, but also I'm willing to do whatever, obviously, like we always are. But that's my vote, I think.
Out of character, I'm voting Yeti because I'm now to a point where it's like whatever's nearby, we just take advantage of
Gotta
before
just
we
do
get
it, yeah.
camped.
It's my
And
thinking
I think
as
it's
well.
been working for us lately until like we've been now like using emotion to like worry about other things. But in character, Dav is very much like he just feels so much, thankful for Euphemia doing this for him that if she's that adamant about it, he's fine skipping the Yeti. It's not that big of a deal either. So that's just putting my vote out there.
I mean, she heard both of you. She's not saying no.
So if we
Out
kind
there,
of
I'm
got
fine
two
with it.
50-50s, we got
Yes.
one yes, Eleonora,
It's so bad.
or Rachel, not Eleonora.
Rachel is dying over here. Um
Technically, you
Roll a
could say
dice about it.
50-50 and Winnie could be the deciding.
yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh. And then okay, so just so I know the thing, they said the mountains, it would be the Alpha Yeti lives in the mountains.
That is most likely where you would find an Alpha Yeti
That's
is in the mountains.
probably where we'd find
You'd
it.
probably have to
Okay.
track a regular Yeti back to the mountains and find the Alpha Yeti there. And it's days
Okay.
south from what they said.
Multiple days.
Oh yeah, most definitely multiple days
So-
to get to the mountains.
Are we talking like 3, 4?
Probably about
Like 5, 6.
3 to 4. Yeah, that's probably a good estimate.
Because the other thing, can I just talk out of character for a second,
Go ahead,
just
yeah.
so we can make a quicker choice? The other thing I'm thinking about is supplies. Do
Mhm.
we have the supplies to survive outside for 8 days? Maybe they have stuff to help us. I don't know, but that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if we have. I want to go after it too. I just am not sure if we're at a point where we can.
Hey,
And if we don't have
Arizini,
the supplies, and if there's nothing there, then like that's fine. That's our answer, I guess. Because we're gonna barely that we'll survive it. Even out there, then no, we won't. But
maybe Dav can scoot up to Arizini and be like, "Hey, are you like a bag of holding infusion maker type artificer? That we could put wood in and."
He points
Utrix
to
is
Utrix and
the-
says, Utrix is the artificer, Davril. I know it's been a while since
Oh.
you've seen
Yeah,
us,
back in.
but yes.
Because I have notes here that written down the other way. What happened? Go out of it. I'm not asking Utrix. Yeah, any of you want to ask, that's fine. I'm not asking him.
Yeah, we do not have many resources, if that's what you're asking for at this point. We are kind of bunkered down here. We have food and water as provided for us by Acheral, and points to the plant in the picture. But we are awaiting turn at the point for a lot of it.
That girl made that plant for you?
Yes.
Is somehow tied to nature, maybe? Or partially so. Anyways, sorry. Thank you. I'm just curious about the supplies. We'll be right back. John's back into out of character mode. I mean, actually, that's a good point. We don't have supplies. I don't.
We have like 5
This
days.
might be something we have to
Yeah.
prepare for too.
Mhm.
Not that many.
Here's the thing, if we are able to get money, there is a spell that is my tiny hut, like a ritual spell that I could copy.
Ooh.
That would be great for like environments like this. We can journey around, but I mean, that's if we have money. So I don't know.
Or
I
a library
honestly
here
like,
that might have it.
huh?
Or a library here that might have it.
Maybe. We don't have the gold for it, but
Yeah.
if they would be willing to share knowledge.
I mean, I'm a follower of Ackroll. They'll sponsor me.
So
Just kidding. I mean, that might be the sway right there then.
if you want to ask, that might be what decides it though. Maybe for now.
Yeah, just walk over. Do you guys have like a tiny hut spell scroll or scrolls to translate? Look at.
Look at some things real quick.
So we're going in and out of characters. Flips table like you're useless.
I know. I'm sorry we're doing it. I like I said, my brain feels so fried. I want to try and make this decision fast, and we don't
As
spend
no,
I mean,
hours
like-
on it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
eyes.
I felt highs in my heart
We
too.
do not have that spell. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't feel it in my
Lenny,
heart.
we don't trust our gut. We're not going to the Yeti. It's
No,
not
you're
happening.
right.
Both of us are wrong.
No, it's weird. My
Reverse
gut
scores.
is
Reverse scores.
usually a random choice. It's very strange. It's sometimes very right and sometimes wrong. It's like it's a 50-50.
Kelly, I gotta say, can I just say out of character
Well.
that Ren and Raya and Beacons, every time they would say, I have a gut feeling, they would make the dumbest choices.
Yep.
And Karis started
Always right.
feeling tense every time they'd say, I have a gut feeling about this. She'd be like, no,
Don't do it.
So even though it's not the same. for
That's our
these
compass. If me and
No.
Kelly align on something, rip port it. Rip port
Also,
it.
though,
We're
but
done.
also, I can't tell if it's also player. Mike and
I-
Kelly, our
or-
ADHD impulsiveness is like, oh, we want to do the thing, and so we can't. It like bleeds into character. We're like, let's do the thing, and it becomes a problem. So
Be
Who
done,
knows?
save your butt. Don't trust your gut.
that should be.
That needs to be on all of t-shirts for us.
I also will
Wait.
caveat what I was gonna say with, or what I said before. I would like when you had a gut feeling more with it's more like kind of the logical decision of we should probably do what we can. It's been working well, like where we're at kind of thing.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not the
Mhm.
same as like let's do something stupid.
Guys, I have a
No,
gut
no,
feeling
it didn't
Shaw
seem
will
like that
answer
at
this
all.
phone call. Like it's not that kind of a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Guys,
Um,
Ackroll will come and show up with wood. It's fine. I have a gut feeling about this.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
If
in
it-
now.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said we do not have the supplies though right now. Like without the hut spell, without whatever, we do not have the supplies to handle going out there.
We
yeah.
would need to go get more. We'd have to either go back to the village first and get. I don't know how much you'd even allow us to carry, Mark. Like, could we carry enough
8 days worth.
more, like 8 or
Oh.
9 days worth of wood?
Wood.
No, that's so much wood.
So
Okay, in
I
that
can
case,
carry-
in that
I
case,
can
no,
carry,
you're
we-
like 6 in
and
my
that's our
arm, like
decision.
6 logs that last maybe a couple hours in my arms comfortably. Like that's so
Yeah.
much wood.
okay.
So I think
And
that decides it for
that
us. then.
decides
We
it.
don't have the
Logistically-
resources
No.
to be
I
able
can spend
to do
10
it.
minutes
Fine.
every single hour doing my disc, and we can put wood on it and drag it along and slow us down that much more. It'll just add 2 more days of
And
travel.
mishaps.
Yep, and mishaps.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, it's the solution.
Okay. Well, then that
Yeah.
answers your question. Then we don't have resources. No one has resources.
Yeah,
We
if,
can-
if we had tiny hut, maybe we could. But
Or a
let's
bag of
skedaddle
holders.
then to what
Yeah.
Lakeside.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think Lakeside.
All right
yeah.
then. Sorry.
30 minutes
Phil.
decided.
Mark, I'm
Perfect.
sorry that you're
Sorry.
Yetis.
They'll be
Hey.
used.
We
Make
still
a
gotta
choice,
go
guys.
get them.
You're all good.
We still gotta go.
They're not done yet. They're not done yet.
No,
True.
No.
we still gotta visit them.
Okay, it's Lakeside then, Mark.
Okay,
Okay.
we're going.
Sounds good. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Or the other two would come back to engage with you?
But seriously, guys, it's open invite. Does anyone think like a stone look would look good for you guys? Because I mean, I don't want to do this
No.
alone. No, all right, okay, it's worth a shot. Supposed to evangelize once you're, part of the. It's step 3 of the. That's some joking. Sorry. You guys need to like smile a little bit when I make these jokes. I get really intimidated when you don't. No,
you're doing fine, Deborah.
I'm regressing.
Just
Okay,
pat
I
his-
got it.
Pat his head, like shoulder. I don't think so. I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
So if you guys look like you're winding down your conversation, the two will come back over to you. Have you made a decision on what you are doing?
Yes, I think we would like to go to Lakeside if possible.
Yes, I believe we can send you to the school there.
That would be lovely. Especially we realized I don't know what teleportation circle you have in Northport, but I think everything's overrun there.
Erzine will be like, I was a little concerned about that with what sounds like is happening there. We were going to trust you. You seem capable. And,
very sweet. Yes, I think Lakeside will be more beneficial.
Yes, that can be arranged.
Thank you.
Yeah, our first.
He has a note that's folded up in like an envelope and hands it to Dav. This is to be delivered. It has a nice seal on it too, of like a circle of stars on it.
That's cool.
Be delivered to the other version of us.
Of course.
Like me to take a look at your eye. You're functionable. No issues with it.
Sure. Yeah.
So please have a seat over here on the couch. Bench.
Go sit down.
Arizini will kind of like sit next to you as like a comfort kind of thing in this as they're getting kind of close to your face. But
Is this gonna hurt?
Utrix will say, there may be some discomfort with this.
Oh,
as his
man.
eye begins to glow a little bit. Like there's like a little bit of a glow that happens. Deep breaths. And she'll grab your hand. Arizina will grab your hand. You can squeeze my hand if you need to. So he begins to lean in and like brings his fingers up to your eye socket. I mean, you can't see it because there's no vision on that side.
Yeah.
But brings his fingers up, and as his fingers kind of touch, and you feel the pressure of it kind of getting pushed in a little bit in the eye socket. You begin to feel like a little bit of that like burning sensation through your face, like where you got kind of those lines and stuff, and you feel it activate. And those who are watching, you kind of begin to see his gem in his eye begin to glow a little bit as well. That same color. Davril, give me a perception roll. You can just do a flat roll for this one.
What?
Crazy.
Can I use my reroll?
Sure, if you want to use it.
Because that was a natural one.
Another one. Wow. Okay.
I've rolled like 2 1s this session too. Not good.
But it always happens, man. That's a 3 down to a 2.
Okay. So, I mean, you feel this energy rushing into you, and it's pretty painful, honestly. Like, it's definitely very uncomfortable, and it does remind you of kind of that, like, feeling in the tower when you were having it. Maybe not quite as intense, but, like, it just gives you flashback to that moment, and your heart probably starts pounding a little bit, and almost like a panic kind of sets in as you realize, like, you possibly could have died the last time that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the pain happens, and it feels like it happens for a while as you're kind of like gritting your teeth through it. But it stops almost as quickly as it started. And for everyone watching, it was just like a matter of like 6 to 10 seconds or so. It was just one quick moment of him like inspecting it. It does seem to be active, which is a good thing. A good sign. When you arrive with the letter, I believe that at that point, your lessons in mastering how this can be used can begin. If you are ready to take that step.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wonderful.
I'm just kind of curious. I never actually knew, or maybe paid attention. Apparently, you're an artificer as well. I just thought you both were wizards for the longest time. Do you like my gauntlets? Just activate some and just put them around the face. Like, do you have any I don't know, tips or I don't know, what do you think? It's like a kid presenting a science project to a teacher or the principal or something.
He looks and inspects them. Finely crafted. Did you make these yourself?
I mean, there's a little help, but most of it was my design. Had a few people kind of give me. Winnie over here helped me notice how to make it a little more spry and quick for double attacks, and this Vari, the same one that's created this thing over here, that also aided in us.
Yes. Wonderful craftsmanship being done here. So good work.
Give it a grade. What do you think, a B plus or something?
I mean, this is probably A minus work.
A minus.
I could take that. All right. Awesome. Okay. Cool.
He wanted a gold star. Here we go.
Thanks. Hey, an A
Grading
plus,
scale
an A from
kills me.
Utrix is that's you don't get that.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting Mark to not have his NPC answer because every time I try to put Mark on a scale, he always evades and never gives me a number or a letter. He always still
that's
gives
the
me some
worst.
neutral answer.
Is there anything else you need from us before we send you on to Lakeside?
You have another question.
Do you happen to know anything about hags or their magic or anything? Considering I think they also work within ancient magic.
Utrix will say, I have done some studying, and from what I remember, there are many forms of magic that are out there. And the branches from the start of time, ancient magic as its whole, has gone multiple directions. And there is magic that we can cast within us. There is magic that lies in other places as well. There are different ways we can even perform magic. Some practice differently than others in academic magic or divine magic or nature magic. There are different ways that it can be accessed. But magic has also branched in different directions that certain creatures have access to that we do not have access to. Like some animals can swim and survive underwater. It is like that with magic. Some remains active certain creatures that we do not have access to. There may be overlap. Beings can have access to magic that we cannot touch. Likewise, we may have magic that they do not have access to. Just depends on the path that they took from the beginning, from the creation, to where they are now.
Interesting. So you're saying if, let's say, someone got a hold of some ancient hag magic, you might not be able to even use it, or because
Or it may
they are the
take-
ones that are attuned to it.
Or it may not come naturally, but it potentially could be learned.
Ah,
Like utilizing a stone from a being, right? Something you could utilize but doesn't come natural.
In a way. All the beings have magic.
Winnie, you are the chosen one. Congratulations.
What kind of special magic? She suddenly becomes like the most powerful. Like, oh wow, crazy.
She starts levitating.
Oh,
Beings naturally have the gust spell.
it's crazy. We've never seen anything like.
But it would depend on what type of hag you are dealing with. There are some that deal with the ocean, the sea. There are some that deal with abominations. There are some that deal with nightmares. There are some that deal with all sorts of things. Just depends on what they may have access to.
Seems the ones we're dealing with is nightmares.
Okay.
Well, they are on the more dangerous end of hags, from what I understand.
Have you heard of any occurrences of them?
I heard of occurrences of them.
Yes, well, if you were studying, and it seems like you have heard of a bunch of different kinds of hag magic. I didn't know if you've heard tales of any of them operating.
I mean, I don't know of any specific operating here. I know that some have existed throughout time, yes. They will show
Yes.
up in... It is better that they are rooted out as fast as possible. Those who they desire as targets, they will haunt them night after night until they claim their souls.
Have you happened to hear anything about how they can be stopped or how they can be tracked? We believe they may be hiding out on this timeline, although we're not quite sure. They seem to have access to both, though, in some ways.
Access to both, like you?
A bit. They seem weaker in the first. Then they seem
maybe-
stronger here.
Or they can communicate maybe with.
Hunric Stevens suggested perhaps because they are so associated with the nightmare realm, and that the nightmare god and the dream goddess were the first to fall, and the shudder affected this plane so much. He was wondering if that all sort of ties together, of maybe they're able to have more access or can travel here.
Interesting. I'm not certain there, but I do know that they typically like to hide. It generally would want a place that is still accessible to the public, the ones that they target, but they would desire to be hidden away, likely in a place that no one would ever go to. They are isolated from people who may stumble upon them.
You're saying if they've picked a target, they might be near that target? It's possible.
Potentially. They don't necessarily need to be near them, but since they can connect through dreams, but they would probably want a place close to civilization so they can target individuals in a community, cause chaos, spread fear, and watch, enjoy reveling in terror they cause.
So potentially looking for a place that already might be suffering.
Potentially. Or a place they want to cause suffering.
Mm.
But if you have access to magic that may reveal locations, that could be a way you could track down eggs as well.
Reveal locations.
Various divination magic.
Ah. Fortunately, I don't think we do, but it could be something to look into.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think we do.
Well, I have heard that there are people who you can hire to divine for you. Some of the cities. For a cost, of course.
Interesting. One last question, unless we had anything else about the hags. Just look to the others. Do you happen to know anything about demonic entities? We are trying to get into Northport and locate something and bring it out. We've never fought anything like that before, though.
Are you speaking of fiends in particular?
I believe so, whatever it is that's invading Northport.
That is the unfortunate part about fiends. There are very great numbers of kinds of them. And all can be different. All can be unique. All can be dangerous. Unless you know what specific kind of fiend you're dealing with, there's not really general knowledge I can give you.
I mean, just for the sake of assuming and random guessing, what about the followers? I think it's Mayuso. We did find a ritual, people trying to do a ritual in another timeline, and we don't know if they're related or not, but it could be.
That is from Kurlos. Devils would be the most common type of fiend from that.
Mm.
They often have resistances to fire, amongst other things potentially. There can be magical resistances as well when you're dealing with devils of different natures.
If that theory ends up working out, then I should have that knowledge.
Do you know what they would want, or how that even happened? Did you have any suspicions on that?
Do not.
It seemed very random.
With the lack of connection to planar travel, it makes me wonder if they were here.
Already.
Yes.
That's what we've been kicking about. And were they a copy? Or duplicate? Or not?
May have ticking time bomb or from.
That is a very good point. It may be good we're going in, then, to know what happened. We need to warn someone.
As we make it out.
Right.
Erzini, would you like to prepare the circle for them?
I mean, unless you don't have anything to do and like to accompany us, make sure you stay alive for the next mission.
Deborah, we need to stay here. We remain here in case of Akrel's return. We'll be ready. We can contact you though if necessary.
Use it like as like a missionary trip to like spread the news of Akrel to. Yeah, it's all right. We'll get it.
You can do that, Deborah.
All right.
Yeah, I assume you know the message spell then. If you find out any information, you can contact Davril that way.
Or in his dreams. Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
How do you do that?
Oh, it is the dream spell.
Seems very useful.
Yes.
Either one of you have any sort of ever connection to Domine?
No.
Oh, I do remember the question I had earlier. Knowing life here, if you ever did have to travel in these cold parts, I mean, we're not very practiced in it. We know of the hut spell that we're still learning, just bringing food, wood with us. But if we ever found ourselves in more of a colder situation, do you have any other practices that might be of aid to make sure we stay warm and safe?
Well, we don't usually leave to wander the wastelands. Bring food and something to keep warm. Always wise to do. Water is essential as well. Snow can be melted in water. They're always good tips. But as soon as you can learn a spell, maybe to get out of a situation. That tiny head spell you spoke of, or if you can learn to create a teleportation circle. There are other spells I believe that potentially learn as well. I would recommend having those in case of a dire situation. You can get out of there as soon as possible.
Very true.
All right. Shall I begin?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to do here before you go?
Just one thing. And Dad will kind of head off to the door and just peek outside real quick. Is there any like stars or the aurora borealis in the sky at all, or is it still like daylight or
It's
anything?
daylight still right now.
Oh. He kind of like intakes the cold air and just looks around and kind of has a nostalgic moment and closes it again. All right, I'm ready.
Wonderful.
Actually, sorry, did you ever find anything of Davril's family in the ruins? He was looking for something and he couldn't find anything.
You mean belongings? Erzini will walk over to one of the corners where there's a chest will open. Dev, roll me a D100.
Whoa!
How do you do that? Choose one to be the.
Yep, one's a
Has the
10
other
digit.
people.
If you have to roll, you can roll one first, and that's 10s, and then the ones.
87.
87.
Or a B
Wait.
plus if you're going
Hold
for
on.
grade.
I'm sorry. That was a D10 or a D8. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'll re-roll that.
Okay.
27.
27. All right.
Sorry. Well, they look kind of different.
So, he brings back to you, and he hands a flask to you that has the initials ZB on it. I have this I found, Father.
Thank you.
Welcome to keep it.
Means a lot.
I'm very sorry.
Take it. I know. I am as well.
She'll kind of have a moment where she'll just like kind of walk up beside you and hold your hand again. Just like nuzzling into you a little bit for a hug type of a situation.
I'll give her a hug back. Yeah, I don't think I'll say it anymore.
Okay.
I'll push his luck later.
Okay. So, after a little moment of a hug, you will return back to her notes. Utrix will again ask anything else you need before you go.
Unless you have any spells or anything that we could have access to, I don't believe so.
We can
I can
offer
do
Davril
rituals.
access to spells, but that is it.
Yes.
I mean, if you have blur spell, I mean, that'd be something I was looking at.
Look real quick in the spell books.
I mean, we already asked if they had the hut, right? I mean, so it's not like Dav could ask for it.
Yeah, we don't have the hut,
Like
sorry.
Yeah.
Or any ritual spells.
Erzini will say, unfortunately, I do not have that spell in my book. But if you are looking for a ritual spell that may be of use, we do have a spell called Skywrite. It can be a way to communicate a message to people. That is a ritual spell.
I have that one too that I can use.
Like access to that, Davril?
Oh, for me?
They're only
Sure.
giving you spells, yes.
Yes, sure. Realizing that he could just share them with Eleanor.
We just need gold.
Tell her you're sharing with Eleanor.
Say nothing.
It's not gonna go over well.
So yeah.
They haven't made it clear what's inner workings and what's not.
So she will allow you to take the time to do that if you'd like to.
Does it cost anything for a cantrip?
This is a second
I
level
guess it
spell.
would be.
Pyrite is a second
Pyrite?
level spell. Yep.
Oh, I was thinking ritual. Okay, not cantrip, ritual.
Ritual spells.
Sure. I guess it
I mean,
doesn't
does
cost
she-
anything just to write it down. It'd just be cost to put it in a magical spell book, right?
I mean, writing it down would be that whole process. That's like a whole thing. You need to write down all the
Gotcha.
notes and copy it over into your own type of shorthand and all that.
I'll just look at Eleanor and say, I mean, he ain't got no money.
Yes,
I have the
we
ingredients
have
for
the
it, but
funds for it,
yeah.
Several.
unfortunately.
This could be a gift. If you'd like it.
oh, I mean, I'm never one to turn, a gift horse down or anything. Sure, that's very, very much appreciated.
Of course, of course.
Wowzers. He doesn't know what to do.
Would you like it, Avril? Copy it from my spellbook if you'd like.
Thank you. It was very nice of you. Are you guys okay if I take?
It'll be a 4-hour process to do that. If you guys are
Darn.
It's 4 hours, really?
4 hours, 2 hours per
We're
level.
saving days though. I figure with the
Yeah, weeks at this point.
yeah with the teleportation.
It's up
also
to you guys if you're
before.
fine waiting. I mean,
Yeah. Because we're
Alright.
saving days just by using this
That's
teleportation.
what. Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're saving.
Exactly.
So
okay,
much
all right,
time.
okay.
4 hours ain't nothing.
That's crazy. You just see him just tongue out. He's in his best life, just writing all this stuff. Yeah, I came with my own coding method, showing a little bit like don't read it, but our own. Everyone's got their own idea, but it's got a base on yours a little bit.
So you're going to take the time to do that. Anybody doing anything else while Dav is copying over his spell?
Okay, I know this is literally like dumb, but I feel like Whitney would actually do this, and I probably don't get any answer from it. While he's doing that, can I kind of like walk around the space, even though it's like warm and cozy? I feel like she wants to just like pray to Domine and see if that girl feels evil. If like
Yes,
any
thank
sort of
you.
like weird
Mhm.
thing gets, I just want to see what the like vibe is like spiritually.
Dominate vibe
like-
check, please.
Someone literally asked me that today. They're like, "Don't you have a clerk? Just find out if it's good or bad." I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
that's
that
kinda
easy,
the-
but
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, Mark.
We'll
wouldn't.
try.
Okay. So you do walk around and say your prayers. You do not sense any response though.
Okay, I'll note that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
No dragon shows up on her shoulder or anything.
Yeah.
No?
Nothing
We're
happens.
not in the woods. We ain't in the woods anymore.
Yeah, and we're in the timeline where there's no gods.
Right. So
They don't answer us anyway.
Eleanor or Euphemia, anything for you guys that you want to do in the 4 hours you're waiting?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to kind of look around the vault and see like what there is, if there's anything interesting. I might even ask like I might even just kind of try and continually like watch and speak with Utrix and Arazini like as Dav's busy, like just to see if I can continue to like get to know them a little more, get a better read on them. Like I'm just really trying to like understand this whole thing, and also maybe make them feel at ease with us too.
So Arazini will gladly speak with you if you'd like to talk with her. She'll even offer you some tea if you'd like some tea. And
Share some tea.
as you look around, it's very nice, like very fine. Everything is finely crafted here. Clearly, valuables are everywhere. You're not quite sure what all will be magic or not magic based off of just a glance, but it definitely seems at least like most things are expensive. And it kind of reminds you of home a little bit with the value of everything that is here. And finally put together, cared for, pristine, all that. But yeah, we have a nice little conversation with Arazine if you'd like.
Yeah. I'd want to see if they know, like, and we don't have to role play it, but because they seem to know a lot, I would want to see if they know anything about like about my situation with Shadowrock, if anything would like ring any bells for them with like relating to ancient magic.
Okay. Arizini will just say, I'm not sure what that would mean. Sorry.
All right, that's quite all right. Yeah. Maybe come back to me. I have one more thing, but Euphemia can
You
go.
got anything you want to do during the 4 hours?
I think I would mostly just be interested in, I guess, if I can kind of get a better look at that plant that they have. I would be interested in kind of studying it and seeing if anything stands out to me, like how it's put together magically, because obviously it's magical in nature.
Yeah, so as you kind of approach it to look at it, Utrix will come up kind of beside you. It is a wonderful specimen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fascinating. I've never thought to try and turn it into a plant. I can do that spell.
Beyond spell. The gift, Acheral. The way that he can transform our magic into something new. Beyond what we could even understand.
Was it a plant first and he augmented it?
Created this self.
You watched him do it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Provided us food. This berry even has a bit of a sweet taste to it, unlike the typical flavoring of a good berry.
It seems like he has your best interests in mind.
I'd like to try one.
Like,
Like, looks at it for a second. I don't know that I don't know that I'm hungry, actually. But thank you.
Are you trying to dodge, or are you actually not hungry?
She's not hungry. I mean, we ate food earlier in the day.
Okay. Are you just like avoiding it though? Like, is there any level of like I don't want to deal with this, or is it just like because like there could be that curiosity of like I'm not hungry, but I'm curious what this would taste like too. So I'm just curious what
She's
you're.
still curious, I think. It's not like, oh no, I don't want to touch it. There's not like fear or evasion in it. It's just
Okay.
like, no, I'm not really hungry, so I don't see the practicality in consuming it,
Okay.
sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely has to tech thoughts up. For sure.
He just kind of looks at you as you say no.
Yeah.
I
I would
see.
like to see what his reaction is to that, though.
He looks a little put off. But
That's fair.
yes, this is a very important plan to us. So please step back.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing more about it. Then I'll back off. That's it. That's all I can think of that I would want to do.
Dab in the middle of like kind of writing all this and kind of seeing the interaction, just thinking about everything. He'll just kind of pipe up to Arizini. Why keep everything so secretive? Why not desire to share the knowledge with more people?
Well, once Acheral is returned to us, then I'm sure we can share it with everybody. But up until that point, we are so delicately on the edge. I mean, we were nearly wiped out once. It could happen in a moment that would ruin everything. We need to
Were you,
establish our position before we can.
Were you more open and inviting before the attack? Or was it still pretty secretive?
We were not openly telling everyone to come join us. It was still somewhat exclusive. People could join if they found interest in it. They trustworthy. But it is not something that we tried to share with every city to get people to make a pilgrimage out to us. It was our own
An idea. I
little
mean,
group.
if you're able to get the Watchlight or Strastrom on your side, then you have resources. If to convince them that girl's good, they could do more in this world. I mean, there are other people out there that want good things.
Well, those who want to know, come ask questions. They are welcome to. They don't want to know. They want to believe what they believe.
Touche. He's gonna go back to his writing.
Did one more thing, Eleonora?
Yeah. I think to actually really fast, does it seem like Utrix is in charge or Erzini, or does it seem like they're the same, like they're on the same level as we've been watching their dynamic?
They don't really give it one is higher than the other vibe to you. Don't get that sense.
Okay. Does Ira have his attention focused on, since we're all just kind of spread out, who's his attention focused on as we're all hanging out?
You don't know. He's just kind of scanning the room.
He's just beep beep. Okay.
Imagine this detect magic meter going off right now, just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ira will say too that he is beginning to get low in power
All right.
in the middle of all this.
Sure. I could even take him outside and charge him, and then do a short rest in that time, if you don't mind me
Yeah,
doing.
Ira won't go outside, but
Um,
you can certainly charge him.
Oh, if the others don't mind that I try, I'm just, we'd all have to go outside or wait,
The
I
rest-
guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, I think there's just, she would just say to Arazini at one point, since they both kind of seem equal in leadership, I think she would kind of give, like, one last, like, sort of sneakier plead for Idgen. And, you know, I think she would just say, the person that you're... Because they already said out loud that he knows where the stone is, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they were asking out loud. Just
Yeah,
he responded in secret.
Right, alright, yeah. I'll just say, the person that, the stone... I'm sure Utrix will fill you in, but, I would request that you be gentle with him. I think that, there was no one really directly responsible, and he may be... I would just ask that you don't hurt him.
We don't want to hurt anybody.
If there's a way you can obtain your property back without anyone being the wiser, that may be best.
not want harm to come to anyone.
What's her mood? Not mood, but like, is it one of those like, I'm really not planning on harming anyone, or is it like, if they
Insight.
fight me, yeah. I'll use my advantage since I haven't used it yet. And my bless.
Right.
18.
I mean, she looks like she's trying to be comforting. I mean, she seems genuine to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Got another bless coming in. Who's gonna get it?
Whoa!
Kelly!
Kelly!
Oh, we had a super lower that came in a while ago too. Let me roll that. That's good. Now it's down to medium.
Wow.
Just in time for you to charge, Ira.
Yeah.
Thank you, actually. That's great.
Um,
I'll ask. Oh,
yeah.
go ahead. Was that it though? Is that all she
Yeah.
had to say? Okay. I didn't know if there's anything else. And she's not gonna press it too much, I think, in watching. But it's just kind of one last, like, I think,
Yep.
this isn't really like he's not a direct cause of this. And then I'd ask if they're okay with me charging him. Is it enough where we could take him into a corner, and if something bad happened, it wouldn't affect everybody?
I mean, they'll say, go ahead, and perhaps if something happens, it would be enlightening for us as well. Go for it.
Yes. All right. I'll go away from like the tree because they seem to really like the tree.
Mhm.
I'll even say like, all right, don't want to hit this section if anything happens.
Okay.
And then I'll take him to the other corner. And then I'll just do both 2 4th level spells in there
Ooh, fancy.
because might as well just do it now.
Charge
Sure.
him. Charge him all the way.
Mhm. And then I can finish up a short rest before we leave.
So first one, no mishap. Second one with the big spike, no mishap. Lucky you. But you're up to extreme again.
Oh.
Oh, and Cosmic Adventures Super Rays.
Whoa, boy.
Ooh, Look at that.
Exciting in here.
Well, that's gonna put it up to very high.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is a very high level you guys are at. It's definitely extreme.
Off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts.
Extreme is an understatement at this point.
It's like, oh, it's so itchy. So prickly.
All right.
I think as she feels it spike, she's just like, all right, get ready. Everyone's just like trying to warn them.
So you are sitting there with that buzzing as you're trying to take a rest here. Oh, look at that, another race. We want this level maxing.
It's
Its
been
limits.
not chaotic enough, apparently.
It's definitely up there right now. It's definitely up there. As you're sitting and resting, Dav's kind of nearing the end of his spell. Eleonora, you hear in your head, hi, just checking in to see if you're around. You around?
I am around, actually. We ran into some interesting problems, but we may be headed your way at some point.
Oh, wonderful. Do you have any of the items I asked you to retrieve?
Mr. Stevens. I'm sorry. I'm so sad. I cannot even understate how chaotic things have been for us to not even be able to get a read on anything. So no, we do not. My apologies.
Do you have plans to try to get any anytime soon? Just curious. Have you tried anything?
Well, the other timeline is of the opinion that we are tearing apart the entire plane, fueled by the person I'm aligned with, because he knows about death. It's not a good situation over there. And I don't think I can say anything more until he responds back to me.
Okay, so answer my question.
Sorry, limited response. The imprisonment spell is threatened if we don't prove this timeline's existence and our mishap affliction. So unfortunately, that has taken priority.
You forgot the first 3 words. You ran out.
You sure? Oh, okay.
She said sorry. You know, he did that part.
It has taken priority. It's cut off.
Yeah.
So no, you haven't tried for any of these? No plans yet?
Mark, why do you do this?
Playing a character, Rachel. That's why I do this.
Oh my gosh. Feel so good about our decision, and then just kidding.
Yeah, 2 different NPCs have 2 different, agendas.
Gosh. Oh, you know what? Chirix even got me a little,
The counter thing,
like
yeah.
a little clicky.
You
Yeah,
do,
my
the counter.
clicky thing.
Yes.
We need to use that.
Use it.
Yeah. Awful and oh wait, is my camera frozen?
Yeah, you broke something.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Alright.
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
Well, she's gone. It's
Oh,
mishap.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Empty chair.
Okay.
There you're
I think
back.
we're good now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Chirix, I haven't needed to use it because I usually use my notebook and it's a little more fast and loose, but these are actual sending spells, so yeah, I have a nice little counter I can click, click, click when I do the words, which is very fun.
That's super fun.
So are you gonna respond to Hoonrik?
Yes. Clicky. So I'll say,
Not frozen, guys. She's thinking.
no current plans because unfortunately proving the timeline takes priority as we will be taken out of the running entirely if we cannot prove our claims. "25 words. Thanks, Chirix.
Hey. You can even hear it too. Click clacks.
So you'll reply back. All right. I'm wondering if items from where you were originally from will be more effective. Try that. Bye.
Wait, what did you mean items where we're originally from?
I'm on 1.
Yep.
Was he talking about the artifact, like the things we're supposed to gather for him?
He's been only talking about things gathering for
Yeah,
him.
only.
So that is the
Sure,
context.
okay. Yes. Okay. That is helpful. actually. Once we can get this out of the way, we will be sure to take care of it. Sorry for chaos.
All right. So, no response after that point. Dav gets to be wrapping up his spell. You complete your short rest to get your spells back, Eleonora. And Utrix has been watching all of you, as has Ira. You're just feeling two people watching you now. It's can't go anywhere without someone noticing.
Love it.
So like Utrix, seems like there's a lot of like magic items here. Is there like an initiate reward or something? Just re-signing up, like a bonus item that we get to like maybe help our adventures.
You have a spell, don't you?
Yeah, that was Arazini's gift.
Are you
Oh,
gonna
sure.
give me a present? Eleanor's shaking her head at Davril, just
Okay.
That
approval.
All right,
letter I gave you is your gift.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, appreciate it. I think it goes for like a weird, like he's going for the handshake, but then like the hug, like Arazini did, and was like, not sure what.
He kind of sidesteps a little bit to get out of the way of your awkwardness and just
Okay, yeah. Handshake then.
Davril, calm down.
Just excited to be here, guys. That's all.
I understand you may feel excited, but you need to contain yourself professionally.
Yes, sir. I'll go back and like start getting my spell. Kind of just lean into Arazini. Make you better. Start folding up everything.
All right. So that Arizini will begin to draw the markings of the teleportation circle and kind of put in the final bits of the script that goes with the spell into the teleportation circle they have. And about a minute later, the different symbols that she puts in there begins to glow. It says, onward to Lakeside. Safe travels. Hopefully see you all soon.
I think like while she was putting everything together, like she would tell like Arazini thank you, and then she'd even like offer a handshake to Utrix as a thank you, just so extra people are being thankful. But if he doesn't take it, that's
He
okay.
will give you a handshake.
Whoa.
Friendship over.
It's because I was being professional.
Eleanor has
Thank
the
you very much.
charisma to act
Yes.
smoothly.
Yeah.
So obvious.
It's her background.
Anyway.
She can fit in with nobles and stuff.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I've been in with librarians. They're all librarians.
Yeah, they know you.
That's a stretch.
All right. So you guys all enter.
Yes.
So Ira will follow behind, and you see like Erzini waving, and Utrix just kind of standing, arms crossed, watching you guys enter into the circle, and off you go. No mishap.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm shocked.
Thankfully, you didn't cast the spell. Erzini cast the spell.
Yes.
They have a
yes.
different way they roll. So
Whew.
You just imagine a Kubrick Stevens sized crack there, just like, well,
goes.
Oops.
That could have been
Yeah.
real ugly. But with that, we're gonna end as you guys rush off to Lakeside and are met with a much nicer climate than where you have been recently. It is so much warmer and so much nicer. It is nighttime now because 4 hours have passed since the last moment, but we're gonna end as you guys enter into the teleportation circle that is located in Lakeside, and we'll pick up with that next week. So let me get these two off the screen because you don't see them anymore. Where's their?
Oh, goodbye.
They're
Bye.
gone. We're gonna end though right there, and we are going to send off this to another person, another channel with a raid. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. We appreciate you all so much. Bye.